Hello my beautiful butterflies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Beverley and it's lovely to see you today. In this video we're going to be talking about some witchcraft tools that you can use to help your mental health. So grab that cup of tea, let's do this. So for a little bit of background, I am a disabled woman. I have mental health conditions as well as physical health conditions. My mental health is okay-ish at the moment, but I do struggle a lot with chronic depression and generalized anxiety disorder, as well as things that are associated with my physical health conditions. And so I've really been putting into place things that will help me day by day so that I can generally have better mental health. Now, the reason we're talking about this today is because the day this video goes up is Blue Monday. I will leave some information down below as to what Blue Monday is. But basically, a scientist said this is the most depressing day of the year. And I just thought this would be a great moment to talk about some of the tools that I've put into place to kind of help my mental health. So I really hope that you get something out of this video. Don't forget, if you are new here, you can click the subscribe button to become part of the butterfly family. We would love to have you part of the family here. Don't forget to head down there, leave it a cheeky like and a comment. I would love to know some of the things that you do to help your mental health. But let's get to it, shall we? So the first thing I want to talk about is forgiveness and releasing, or letting go of the past. There are many different ways of doing this, and I've found the best way for me is writing down a letter to a person who's hurt me. But I've found that writing a letter to somebody who has traumatized me or hurt me in the past and then burning that letter is brilliant. Also, another great way is to post it into the bin. Like, I put it in an envelope and then just post it into the bin. But burning it, you know that that person's never going to find that letter. It's never going to get found somewhere and handed to them somehow. I mean, I don't know, but you see these sorts of things on TV all the time. I tend to be a little bit careful when it comes to writing things out, especially when it's somebody who's traumatized me, somebody who's hurt me. I mean, your feelings and your perspective of a period of time will not be the same as everybody else's who was part of that period of time. Writing out your feelings, how that person made you feel, it's not necessarily something that you want to bring up to that person. It's not something that you necessarily want them to ever hear. And so burning that letter, you've got all those feelings out of you. It's such a great release. And then what I do is the ashes, I just kind of let them go in the wind, blow the ashes away, and it's gone forever. Done. Those feelings are gone. They're on the wind. They've disappeared. I always find that really, really cleansing, really beautiful feeling. It's really cleansing, and it's a really wonderful way of just letting go of that period of time, letting go of those feelings and just shutting that door so it can't trigger you anymore. It can't come up and hit you as full in the face because you've dealt with those feelings. It's a really great thing to do. Ever since I found this, I've been loving writing letters to people who've hurt me, or even to myself if I feel like, you know what, when you were 21, you really hurt yourself. You were really damaging. The way you were doing things was really horrible to the people around you and to yourself. Get it all out there, you know, and let it go. Say goodbye. Another great way is a cleansing bath ritual. Cleansing bath rituals are amazing. I love getting in the bath with herbs and crystals and candles and just really soaking away all the toxic feelings or toxic things in your body. It just feels so nice to let it go. I love a good bath ritual. Bath rituals, one of my favourite things, and they are pretty accessible. I'll be honest though, I struggle to get in and out of the bath myself. I need help from my husband, but you can always make a bowl of water and just sit your feet in it. That's a way of making it a little bit more accessible. So always look for ways to make magic accessible to even people who are disabled. So I do want to say that, yeah, having a bath ritual can be difficult, but what about filling the sink and washing your hands in it? There are always ways of changing things so they're a little bit more accessible. The next thing I want to talk about is mindfulness and intuition. So mindfulness is something that has been a massive game changer for me. It's originally Buddhist, I believe, but it's been kind of westernized and taken over and used in mental health. And that's how I discovered it, was by a therapist telling me about mindfulness. And as I looked more into it, I was really fascinated by the fact that a lot of the time our thoughts, we're not actually in the moment, and it's so hard to explain to people who don't practice mindfulness the difference it makes to not be stuck in your thoughts and what you're assuming people are going to say, what you're assuming people are going to do, not what you've got to be doing tomorrow. It's like you have this big cloud around you all the time of thoughts and feelings that are just always there. Mindfulness takes a lot of practice. It's not something you can try once or twice and get it. Definitely helped by doing a little bit of meditation in the morning as kind of a palate cleanser after dreaming all night. But I do find that mindfulness just stops me getting lost in those negative thoughts, those intrusive thoughts that tend to want to come in, take over, and kind of stop you enjoying life. They can really take over and really make it difficult. Using your intuition as well is an amazing tool. My intuition, which can easily be taken as that inner voice, listen to your gut. You know, a lot of people who have been in accidents or had horrible things happen to them been like, earlier in the day I felt like I shouldn't do that thing, or I felt I shouldn't go to that thing, but I didn't listen. That gut feeling that nags away at you is your intuition, as well as a way of communicating with you from your spirit guides, your angels, your ancestors. It can be your deities even. But listening to your intuition will start you listening to what your body actually needs, listening to what your soul needs, what your mind needs, doing the things that are good for you as opposed to the things that other people tell you or you feel you should do. And that's in itself is a whole big game changer. But mindfulness and listening to your intuition are two amazing things. You can do a lot of meditations and crystals work to open your third eye and cleanse your third eye. There's a lot of information about that on YouTube, and as always, if you would like me to do a video just upon that, I can. It's easy done. Just let me know in the comments. Next up are spells for self-love and self-care. Now I have a jewellery shelf, like a little shelf thing that I hang my jewellery on. And on there I made a little self-love altar. And it's really helped. You can buy candles that are for self-love, you can make them, you can buy crystals. There are a lot of ways to bring self-love into your practice. It's not easy, especially in the Western world. But here are a couple of books that I would definitely recommend. We have The Witch's Book of Self-Care, Magical Ways to Pamper, Soothe and Care for Your Body and Spirit. And the other one is Sacred Self-Care, Everyday Rituals for a More Joyful and Meaningful Life. These two books are brilliant for starting out to think about yourself as worthwhile. You are worth putting the time and effort in. And I really enjoy reading these books. I have to say, like, bringing all these tips and tricks and spells, a lot of things that talk about self-care, rituals, foot massages, essential oils, crystals, all the things you'll find in these books. I'll leave links to them down below. But you can find a lot of witch self-care books. It's a big thing. And I think it's important to look at books, look at spells, look at ways to bring self-love into your daily practice. And yeah, I'm talking daily. I'm talking looking into that mirror and saying things that you like about yourself, instead of looking and thinking, oh, I wish I didn't look this way today, or I've put weight on, or, you know, like we do. You can kind of, there's a rule of thumb that I used to do that was for every negative thought to think of 2 positive thoughts. So you're doubling up the good, because self-love is a journey. It's not something that's easy to do. So I really would encourage you to read about spells, do meditations, just throw yourself in head first. There's a lot of information online about bringing more self-care. You can also find meditation things right here on YouTube that will help you with self-love. Another thing that I want to talk about is protection. I think a lot of the time we think of mental health as being your brain, you have a chemical imbalance in your brain, and that's the problem. But sometimes that has been caused by trauma, horrible things that have happened to you when you were a child or when you were a teenager. I don't want to go into details, but we can all imagine the sort of things that could lead to PTSD or trauma-based mental health conditions. Protection amulets and charm bags are amazing. I can do a whole video on this if you would like, but you can easily find information about this if you just do a quick Google search. And there are books, like millions of books, just about protection and protective magic. Magic used to keep a certain person out of your life, cord cutting. These are all things that you can find that will bring a little bit of protection into your life and make you feel a little bit safer. You can do warding around your house. You can add things to your garden, to your home, that are going to make you safer. And I know it sounds crazy, but when you don't feel safe, you can't rest, you can't feel good. Adding these things I found very self-empowering. Like, you know what? I'm the one who decides I'm safe. I'm the one who makes my home safe. I'm the one who does this through my magic. And it's such a beautiful gift. And I really hope that you will look into this if that is something that causes your mental health or affects your mental health, because it will make a big difference if you start to do warding and protection just even in your bedroom, if you live in a home with people that don't make you feel safe for whatever reason. So I just wanted to talk about warding and protection amulets, because that's so important. I could talk about this for years. I can make this into a series. I can talk more about each of these things in detail. I can do a video on each of these things, any of these things. If you want me to do any of that, definitely let me know in the comments. If you'd like any more information, how to do things, where to find things, just let me know by dropping me a comment down below. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video today and you got something out of it, that these are things that you can look up and read more about so you can bring your craft into helping your mental health. Do remember though, if you're worried at all about your mental health, go and see your doctor. Definitely go and see someone, talk to somebody who can help you. These are not to be used instead of going to see a mental health professional or using your medications. I take medications for my mental health, so I just want to assure you that it is perfectly okay to be a witch and take medications, because I take a lot for pain and my mental health. It's important to take your medications and see therapists and doctors when needed, but these are just tips that are going to help support that and buffer it a bit. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to leave it a cheeky little like down below so I know that you enjoyed it and I can bring more like this to the channel in future. Also, don't forget, if there's anything you want me to concentrate on or talk about in more detail, just let me know by leaving me a comment down below. Also, tell me the things that you do using your witchcraft to support your mental health. I would love to hear all your tips and tricks. This is a really great community and I know that you're probably doing things that I haven't thought about, and I would love to learn and grow. And last but certainly not least, if you like my content, if you like my face, don't forget to head down below and hit that subscribe button, ring that little bell so you always know when I upload. I'm usually here Mondays and Fridays, my health permitting. I always do my very best to be here with you every week, twice a week. I hope that you have a lovely week. The Blue Monday is not too blue for you. Keep smiling and keep fighting, and I will see you next time. Bye.